What's up, connoisseurs? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the absolute best MJ community. Today is Saturday. It's July 20th. Hope you're doing fantastic and having a great weekend. In this video, we're going to do another rapid-fire news update for July 13th to the 19th. And again, it's not to go into deep dive details. It's just a high-level overview of what transpired over the last week or so. And in case you missed it, you can dig into it more in your own time, and I try to keep them around 10 to 15 minutes long. Before we get to it and the news, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, and then you'll get notifications on any future content that I post or any live streams. As always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and you should never ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. You can also follow us over on X in case we ever get censored here or shut down on YouTube. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward, and it's an easy way for me to get real-time updates out to the community as well. Always good to have multiple platforms just in case. You never know what happens in this day and age. Also, some celebrity news. This was big news. Snoop Dogg opens his first weed shop called SWED. I think it's pronounced Swed. So Snoop Dogg's weed brand with Death Row Cannabis also launched the Tupac weed line at the grand opening of Snoop's new dispensary, SWED, in Los Angeles. So this is great to see. You know, it's obviously mainstream, the MJ industry, but you know, never hurts to see that. Also, Tilray Brands, I did a video of the prep for that. So if you haven't seen my recent videos, I essentially go over a prep video. I go over all of the analyst estimates, and I give you the consensus on what to expect in terms of revenue and earnings per share. So if you haven't seen that, you can check that out. But it has been confirmed that the Q4 and full fiscal year 2024 financial results will be on Monday, July 29th, 2024. And that will be after market close. So there was some speculation that it would be on the 24th, but which would be next Wednesday, but that has been kiboshed. It's going to be on the 29th, which is a Monday. And then following market close at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, they'll be doing the conference call. So I'll be in PEI visiting family, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it out. Normally I live stream those conference calls, but I'll definitely be doing a video reviewing their earnings at some point, and I'll do my best to do that conference call live stream as well. Those are super fun. Let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments. Also, moreover, on Tilray Manitoba Harvest, Hemp Foods and Brightseed introduce new coffee and chocolate flavors in organic bioactive fiber supplement for gut health. So great to see. Can't wait to try some of those products. Actually, I haven't tried any of the Manitoba Harvest. Let me know in the comment section below if you have. Sweetwater Brewing also launched new Rowdy Peach IPA, which sounds right up my alley, in collaboration with Atlanta United FC. So can't wait to try some of those craft beer that they have as well. Already in top 5 position for craft beer market share, and just in a very short period of time. So literally a behemoth in the making. Canadian MJ sales growth has slowed. So Statistics Canada released the May retail sales for the country, and cannabis sales increased from April levels, up 5.8% to 434.5 million. Love to see it. Speaking of MJ sales, Michigan's slow. So they fell sequentially 0.3% from April at 278.8 million sales, which were up from May on a per day basis. They were up 6.9% from a year earlier, the slowest annual growth in over 2 years. So we'll see if they can get back into the growth column in the not too distant future. Also, I posted a video on this, but Canadian MJ operator SNDL implements restructuring plan, and they also have big retail footprint with alcohol and MJ as well, but they're also a producer. So if you haven't seen that, they did some layoffs. But if you haven't seen that video, you can go into that for more details, and I also do some analysis on SNDL. I posted this, I believe, on last week's news video, but Jones Soda announced that they're upsizing the private placement from 4 million to 5 million. So not a big jump, but a jump nonetheless. Also, Ascend Wellness Holdings closes 235 million private placement of senior secured notes. So that was some big news out of the industry as well. But not a name that I follow very, very closely, but you know, we'll continue to see what happens here. But you know, there's so many companies in the U.S. It's going to be very, very fierce competition, especially when, you know, Canopy acquires Acreage. They essentially become an MSO. LP becomes an MSO. SNDL through Sunstream's looking to get into the U.S. Organogram has expansion plans, and then Tilray is probably going to see something soon as well, right? We know that they have big footprint in terms of their alcohol. So once they start to get into, you know, maybe they get into hemp. I did a video on that, why they probably aren't right now. You can check that out if you're interested. But I think they'll be waiting just until a little bit more legal clarity. And I think, you know, rescheduling will be great. We could see something off the back of that, but descheduling will ultimately be the goal, right? I think that's the ultimate goal that we're going to work towards, but it's going to take some time. So incremental steps, but we'll get there eventually. Slow and steady wins the race, and I think, with regards to their brands and beverage brands in the U.S., they could have some of the best, with the Highball and the Sweetwater, 420 Pale Ale. There's so many great brands that they can easily infuse MJ or, hemp-derived THC with. So Pennsylvania also, the governor pledges to keep up MJ legalization fight despite budget setbacks. So there was some speculation that it wasn't included in the budget, that legalization hopes might kind of dwindle, but the governor is very committed to get it done. So that is very promising to see. Also, Kentucky governor pushes DEA to reschedule MJ, saying it's an alternative to deadly opioids. Absolutely, right? We know that, a lot of things, even alcohol and tobacco, they're essentially poison, and this is medicine, right? Medicine of the future. And we've got some more information later on in the video with regards to studies and more over on the topic of it being plant medicine and medicine of the future. Also, Trump VP pick is J.D. Vance, but he opposed MJ banking, but is silent on legalization. So I posted a video on exactly this as well. It was a live stream. And if you go to isidewith.com, it says there that he basically supports legalization and regulating taxation, and he's all for the states as well, right? And he's a senator out of Ohio, which we know Ohio is working on full-blown legalization, right? So Trump as well, I believe, is very pro-state, letting the states decide. So that's great. And also, Vance is 39 years old. I don't think, it kind of shows that they're taking a more progressive approach to things, and the younger generations. And I mean, people can change their opinions as well. And at the end of the day, he said that the odor and things like that in public places weren't great, but it sounds like he might have been, hanging out with Ron DeClown a little bit too much. But at the end of the day, it needs to be regulated, and I don't think he'll stand in the way of it. And I posted some more about it on X as well. But check out that video for more details, and you can check out X on the POW Group page for some more details on how he feels about it. But overall, I think he's definitely not going to stand in the way of it, that's for sure. And they could even get it rescheduled, like I said, sometime. I think the most likely scenario is before the election, probably September, October. I'm going to go with October, and then we should see that rescheduling process official. And there's more there. The last day is the 21st of this month, so on the 22nd the deadline will be over. That'll be comment period will be over, and then we should see some positive news out of that, the results. And then, like I said, I think it gets rescheduled before the election. And, once they get it rescheduled, if it's official, they can't really walk it back. Even when, we'll have the lame duck session, but then the new administration, right, will be inaugurated. Let's say if Trump and Vance did win, and I don't care, I'm not getting political. I'm from Canada. I just want what's best for MJ. Once they get inaugurated, I believe in January 20th, then, it would be long gone. Like, it'd be a thing of the past where we get it rescheduled. And then I think there's a very good possibility that it gets descheduled as well over the next couple of years. Also, Green Market Report reports that major changes to MJ banking are unlikely after rescheduling. And they say rescheduling does not equal full legalization. That's why I mentioned descheduling, right? That would effectively remove it from the Controlled Substances Act list, and similar to what Germany and Canada have done. And they're never first, they're never last, the U.S., but believe me, they'll get there eventually, and the dominoes are falling. The writing is on the wall, and this is only ever going to happen once. So it's definitely not I agree with this to a certain extent. It's definitely not going to, to allow banking right away or make banking happen right away, but it'll certainly move the needle, right? It'll kind of encourage these lawmakers that, okay, it's got medicinal value, right? It shouldn't be on the same list as heroin, right? So pretty crazy to think that, it's just asinine, right? It should not be the case. Congress might be the quickest path to rescheduling MJ. Well, absolutely. If we can get a functional Congress, if we can get them to agree on something, which we're starting to see more and more bipartisan support for things, which typically in the past has been lacking. So the fact that we're on that way, right, and we're hearing unity and things like that in the political sphere more and more. So, this is what they were put there to do, was to legislate and to craft, bills and laws and put laws forth. So, absolutely. Congress can get it done. Definitely the quickest way to rescheduling. And then if we need descheduling, well, then we need Congress to act, right? So, I think we'll get there. But again, it's just got to be a little bit more patient. Also, and New Cannabis Ventures reports, which is Alan Brockstein, exclusive article, he says that cannabis stocks are unlikely to be hurt by a stock market correction. I don't know what this guy's smoking, but it definitely isn't the medicine of the future, because it sounds like thinking is skewed. Like, if the stock market pulls back, it will 100%. I mean, there's no guarantee unless they come out and they deschedule it the second the stock market crashes, or full-blown legalize it. Like, that'd be the only way, right? In my opinion. But I would say there's close, it's 99.99% chance, that it's going to fall, right? I've been on record to say that MJ stocks could be the best performing sector over the next couple of years if big tech, AI, crypto enters a bear market. But if the stock market drops like 40, 50%, and we see like a Great Depression type style correction, which wouldn't even be that bad, right? If we saw a pullback on SPY, if we go to 600, 610, which we have a monthly bull flag saying we could potentially be going to 620, if we pull back 50%, that's still over 300, right? We were at like 200 in March of 2020 during the event. So, yes, this would hurt MJ, but it would likely recover quicker, in my opinion, and it would go on to become one of the best performing sectors, if not the best performing sector, percentage-wise, gains-wise, right, over the next couple of years. But yeah, that's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of status quo for Mr. Brockstein, because a lot of the things he says are kind of outlandish, to be honest, and I don't really agree with it. Don't wish any harm on him or anything like that, or don't really care other than the fact that we just disagree, right? We can all still be friends and disagree or agree on things. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it in the comment section below. But yeah, just because people disagree doesn't mean you don't like each other, or you wish bad on somebody. So it's not me talking any kind of smack or anything like that. It's just I don't agree with a lot of his takes on things, and that's one of them. Also, senators will vote on the Doobie Act, love the name, to prevent agencies from using past MJ use to deny employment and security clearances next week. So that's great to see. We know that has to change. Also, Delaware governor signs MJ bills, including one to let medical dispensaries begin recreational sales early. Love to see it. Also, bipartisan lawmakers seek to remove MJ rescheduling ban from key spending bill. So, bipartisan congressional lawmakers are seeking to remove a controversial section of the spending bill that would block the Justice Department from rescheduling MJ, one of several MJ and psychedelics related amendments to appropriations legislation that have been filed in recent days. So there was some FUD, there was some fear, uncertainty, and doubt about that. I don't think it's going to happen. Again, I'm as close to 100% on as well at the fact that rescheduling to Schedule 3 is the most likely scenario that's going to happen at some point soon before the elections, and with a slight chance of descheduling, because we know we have the MORE Act, there's the CAOA, right, that would effectively deschedule it and legalize it. But I think the most likely scenario is we get rescheduling to Schedule 3, and it'll be an incremental approach. Also, Leafly to announce second quarter 2024 financial results on August 8th, 2024. We have the Cannabis company celebrates growing Old Pal partnership with brand launch in New Jersey and expanded product offerings in Maryland and Virginia. So again, not a company I follow very closely, but they're definitely on the radar, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's a lot of companies in the U.S. doing a lot of the same things, and we know that there's been a lot of consolidation in Canada, and there's still going to be more, in my opinion. Look at SNDL and Delta 9 and Diva, right? There's going to be a lot of competition in the U.S. So just be very cautious on being over diversified into the U.S. In my opinion, I think MSOS is a great opportunity, but again, I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice. Also, Sunburn Cannabis rises to the top of Florida's medical sales leaderboard with good reason. Shout out to the Sunburn team. They're fantastic there. Brady doing a great job, and I actually visited one of their Florida dispensaries when they had a grand opening when I was visiting a friend a couple years ago. I think it was like a year and a half ago now, and I had a great time. Absolutely fantastic. Love what they're doing over there, and there were so many people just talking highly of their products. It was pretty awesome to watch, not going to lie, and had a great time. Actually picked up some of the Sweetwater, the 420 Pale Ale when I was there. There's a liquor store right next door, and went and grabbed some. That was my first time. They're fantastic. Let me know if you've tried those Sweetwater beer, the 420 brand. They were really, really good, and was pretty awesome having a beverage while we were taking in some music and just having some good conversation. Also, the judge in New York City's crackdown on illicit MJ operators can proceed. So New York City's crackdown on unlicensed MJ sellers can continue. A federal judge in Manhattan ruled. So I don't think that was a surprise to anybody. Obviously, we need to cut back on the illicit market. Also, Ohio officials approved state's first recreational MJ licenses for growers and processors ahead of sales launch. So it's been a little bit of a delay, but we're getting there slowly but surely. How to comment on federal MJ rescheduling proposal ahead of Monday's deadlines. If you haven't seen that, that was published July 19th by MJ Moment. You can go check that out. But essentially, I got my comments done. It's really easy, and then you can get yours done. Like I said, here before the end of the 21st. That'll be the cutoff time, and get your voices heard. Get it. Reach out to your friends, family, acquaintances, you name it, coworkers. Get them to voice their opinion as well, regardless if it's positive or negative. If you have a great story or if you have any kind of story, share it with them, and let's get our voices heard and get this across the finish line. Also, 3 out of 4 patients say medical MJ reduces their use of opioids and painkillers. Ohio study shows. So somebody reach out to JD Vance and let him know, screw the smell in the public, right? Like, this thing is medicine, right? This is plant medicine. It's helping people get off of these highly addictive opioids, fentanyl, and which is on Schedule 2, which is like ahead of MJ, which makes no sense whatsoever. Again, it's completely asinine, and it's medicine of the future, right? But now we know why they're lobbied so hard, right? These political figures is because the big pharmaceutical company is losing money from these opioids, right? But as they look to, they got fined billions and billions of dollars in that opioid crisis, they're going to convert to MJ. And I used to work for for a pharmaceutical company, and they actually manufactured opioids, and like kind of, I think they even got a lawsuit and had to pay a big fine based on their participation in that. And I can tell you, the talk of the town for 2 years was MJ. They even got a fence around the perimeter. They got all their security cameras set up so that they could satisfy Health Canada and whatnot. But yeah, it was the whole talk of the town. They couldn't wait to figure out how to get involved into MJ and CBD and all the benefits of medicine of the future. So and that was a big pharmaceutical company. So if they were doing it, you can just imagine all the other pharmaceutical companies around the world as well, right? Also, cannabis is more effective in treating musculoskeletal pain, I think that's how you pronounce it, than traditional medications are, patients say in new study. And again, it hasn't even been rescheduled yet. So once we get it rescheduled, like, imagine all of the studies and research that we're going to continue to see in scientific breakthroughs, right? And then I've always been saying as well, with the help of AI, not only is it going to help with a efficiency standpoint from a cultivation point of view, it's going to help with that as well. It's going to make the processes streamlined and a lot easier and more efficient, and just frankly better. And then think about it, when we use AI, AI is going to replace doctors and diagnosing patients and things like that with certain ailments. And it's going to, we know that the endocannabinoid system is very, very complex, and so is the human body, right? So, and then the different strains and compounds in the plant and medicine of the future, it's going to help, I think, with the use of AI, it's going to help kind of really figure out which strains and whatnot are the best for certain types of people and certain types of ailments and, diseases, you name it. So, and who knows, maybe even comes to light that, MJ does in fact kill cancer and cure cancer, right? So I've been a strong believer that it does. And, if you're an MJ user, it's a very healthy alternative to, alcohol. Like, if I'm 34 and, at 34 years of age, if I have, a few beer, the next day is just absolutely terrible, right? So just from an alternative standpoint to recreational things like alcohol, it's night and day, right? So going to net there, let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of this news in the comment section. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth Connoisseurs, and we'll see you again on the next one.